Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to A Story with Rory. I'm your host. Tonight we have a Story with Rory news hour. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. We have an interesting story that came in from Colorado a few weeks ago on, well, I guess it was like, I don't know, June 5th, three and a half weeks, something like that. Reportedly, there was a UFO spotted over a concert venue in Colorado. Okay. At first, one eyewitness saw it during the concert at I believe it's called Red Rocks Amphitheater. It's outdoors. One guy saw it, and I guess he nudged his buddy and was like, "Hey, do you see that?" And then all his friends looked over, and I guess there was about 12 eyewitnesses that all saw it, and they're like, "Yeah, we see that." And I guess it was just like a giant disc-like craft that was about a mile and a half north of the venue, and it just sat there for a minute, and then they said that it tipped to like the left or the right, and then it just slowly disappeared. So I don't know. They said it floated and then tipped to an angle, became moving, it tipped to an angle and then began moving away and soon to become invisible. So that's weird. That was on Newsweek, reported from this venue here. I guess it was one of the employees saw it that works there. And then he just nudged his coworkers and was like, "Hey, what's that?" So that's pretty crazy. If you or anyone that you know was at that venue on that night, man, reach out because I would definitely love to have you on the podcast and talk about that incident because the whole fact that it became invisible, that's wild stuff. But yes, that was June 5th of this year, about a little over a month ago now. Yeah, we're at June 9th. So, not too long ago that happened, which is kind of cool. Let's see here. They said that when the eyewitnesses looked at it, they said, definitely not an airplane, wasn't a satellite or anything like that, and that there was absolutely no mistaking what it was. And to me, that's very eye-opening. They said, we all saw a giant disc-shaped craft hovering a few hundred feet above the ground with 3 rows of windows and lights. And then we all saw it fade into nothing as soon as it knew it was being watched. There was a dozen or so people who saw it with me. So I mean that's pretty that's pretty crazy because the National UFO Reporting Center has processed more than 170,000 reports since its founding in 1974. Says the company itself. So I mean 170,000 reports. That's crazy. I mean, that's only what, like 50 years exactly about. So yeah, I mean, you can imagine that sparked a lot of general interest in UFOs in that area after that happened. I'm sure people are, all over the skies just looking for something now because who knows, when you see something like that once, you just might see it again, fairly soon. But I find it interesting that there can be UAPs that you can't even identify as craft and they disappear. Like they're just balls of light or orbs of light or something like that. And then you also have these physical spacecraft that can just disappear as well, that they can like cloak themselves and shoot off within a blink of a second. I kind of find that interesting. So if you or know anyone that lives in the Colorado area that was either at that Red Rock Amphitheater or know someone that went to it and that saw this thing, like send them my way for sure because I would love to talk to them and kind of pick their brain on that evening. But if you're just tuning in, I just want to thank you everyone for watching the stream. And I sure do appreciate it. I'm 100% not endorsed. I'm not sponsored by YouTube. I do this just as a hobby, and it's what I love to do. It's just fun for me. So I am completely and utterly supported and motivated by my fans and the people that like to watch this show. So I definitely appreciate you guys, and I can't do it without you. And I thank you very much for tuning in. But yeah. But anywho, that is the story tonight. Yeah, that UFO sighting. It just blows my mind. I mean, they didn't exactly go on to say like how big it was or anything like that. They just said that it was just giant disc-like shape. It said it had like 3 different rows of windows and lights, which I don't know. I find that strange. Like they said it was almost kind of like if you turned a building, like a 3-story building sideways, made it into a ship. That's kind of what it was. So anywho, yeah. But again, if you're just tuning in, if you know somebody that was in Colorado around that time or at that event, definitely send them my way because I freaking want to talk to them bad. I have a lot of questions about that because we do have a lot of guests on here that have had similar sightings of just that very same thing. So to me, it'd be interesting in knowing, if there were any similarities in their stories and the stories that I've had from my previous guest on the show. That would be really cool. Also, if anybody knows Eric Bard or Travis Taylor from Skinwalker Ranch, also tell them Rory wants to have them on his show, on his podcast, to kind of pick their brain a little bit because it's just that area right now is a real hot spot, and I kind of just want to dig in, do an interview with either one of them, just on their background and how they got to where they are today, and then kind of just some of the things that that have been like evolving as far as seeing more UAPs per year, seeing more UFOs, having more paranormal type things happen, and just kind of get their take on it, kind of get their experience around it and just see, kind of like what they've come up with so far, because I know there's quite a bit of, I don't know how to say this. There's quite a bit of evidence when it comes to like playing certain frequencies and getting anomalies to happen. And I just don't know. I just don't know, what the key ingredient is there and how you could play a frequency and trigger a response from something that's either paranormal or not of this world. But I mean, it's definitely possible. Like it can definitely happen. But yeah, I would really love to have Eric Bard or Travis Taylor on a story with Rory, just to, have someone that's got some good knowledge on this topic of UFOs and things that are just unexplained. I would just love to have them on. That's kind of my goal. That's my next goal. that goal, along with doing 1 million interviews and getting to 1 million subscribers, is also my goal. So I would like to interview just as many people that are subscribed that currently have stories, that pertain to UFOs and phenomena and stuff of that nature. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys for watching tonight. And like I said, if there's anyone out there that has connections with those two men, or anyone that was at that event in Colorado on June 5th, like totally hit me up, because I want to pick your brain and kind of dive into that and investigate what was seen, and you know what everyone's opinions are. And I mean, I can have up to like 5 people on if there's 5 people that all saw the same thing. I would love to. I would love to kind of compare stories on what people saw, because sometimes it's rare, but I've seen it to where there's people that just see something completely different, even though when there's the same thing in the sky. Sometimes two or more people will see a different thing, an object, um, the way it looks, moves, stuff like that. And I don't know really what that's about, but I just know it's happened before. And I also want to sponsor a comment to Enigma Labs. If you have an iPhone, download their app if you have a UAP or UFO sighting, and go ahead and log it on there, because it's a recorded document at that point, once you do that. And I mean, also, if you just have a cool story that you want to share with people and that you haven't been able to, feel free to write in email me at a storywithrory@gmail.com, and I'll be glad to look over it and get in contact with you and have you on. So, all right, guys. Well, until then, see you guys next time, and we're out.